There we go. Thank you, creepy voice. Hi, hello to anyone who might be watching this in the future or right now. I don't because technically it is a live stream, but I don't know how you'd find this. You're watching a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays tabletop role-playing games online. You can find them at gauntlet-rpg.com, where you'll find the blogs that they do, the forums, the monthly zine called Codex, which does supplements to existing games and original games in itself. There's also the podcast network that they have. Lots of different podcasts talking about different aspects of role playing games, from like OSR slash adventure supplements to Power Beta Apocalypse. I want to shout out the Gauntlet podcast, the main Gauntlet podcast, most recent episode that had all the community picks of everyone's favorite games they played in 2019. It's basically just like a laundry list, like, hey, here's some RPGs you should try out. So I'm gonna shout out that episode. Also, shout outs to the Hangouts calendar, to which this game and all games in Gauntlet are arranged. This is session 4 of our long trek through Aldermark by way of Band of Blades, which is a dark military fantasy game forged in the dark, made by Stras Ashamovic and John LaBouffe Little of Off Guard Games. You might know them doing the Troy McClure pitch again. You might remember them from such games as Into the Dark and Scum and Villainy. More Forged in the Dark stuff. Forged in the Dark is, of course, means it's a hack of Blades in the Dark by John Harper. We have links below to all that stuff. I'm explaining most of this because obviously this is session 4, so we kind of know all this. We're explaining this because we have a new player jumping in, joining the merry trek of the Legion towards hopefully some refuge. We've been doing well mission wise in the in the actual like on the boots sort of thing. Like y'all killed an Infamous, which is kind of like a level 3 threat. Y'all rescued one of your alchemists. Y'all managed to figure out how they make these horrible spitting zombies. It's been going well. You did lose some rookies along the way, but we can blame the dice for that. But before I do recap what happened last session, I want to talk about the safety tools we're using first and foremost. I'll mention, folks, in the very bottom of the Roll20 that we're using, we have a lines and veils list. Lines are things that like won't be crossed, just like it won't. Once you put it there, it won't show up in fiction at all. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not gonna like concentrate on it. Like it happens off screen, or they get a sentence or two. We fast forward over it. That's all they get. This is a living document. So if folks suddenly think of something they don't want to add there, sorry, I burped there. It's a coffee burp. So if there's anything you folks want to add, you can free to do so at any time, and just mention it in the chat so that folks will know they've been added. We're also using the X card for the series. Basically, if we do roll into a scene where folks are uncomfortable for any reason, and any reason is perfectly fine. In fact, you don't even need to explain why. Just say like maybe it's a name or a detail or even just the general tone of the scene. You can say you want to X card that either on the chat or on the Roll20 chat, or you can make the X symbol here in the video. I might ask some questions on what's being X carded, but no one gets to question if the card is used. Like if it happens, it happens. We'll respect that. We'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy in this game. Basically, if folks feel the need to step away from the table, from the virtual table, so to speak, whether because you're more tired than you thought and you just need to bail out, or there's an emergency you need to take care of, or you just really need to go. You've nearly drank half your coffee and you're like, I thought I needed some pep. Now I'm just probably gonna crash out, and like I need to like go take care of something. We can pause the game. It can happen at any time. Like there could be like 5 undead spearmen poking you with the horrible karate spears, and all you have is a shield, and you're trying to protect this like stone statue of some ancient chosen, and the tension's really high, and then someone says, "Yeah, this tension's so high. Can I go? Can I just take care of something?" We'll pause the game anytime. Safety and comfort is the most important part. I did not mean to do that. Sorry, it's holidays getting to me. Okay, so I want to do a quick recap of what we did, and then we're gonna bring in a new player, Patrick, to create the last Legion staff member that we have not seen, and then we're gonna do back at camp, which I'll explain for Patrick when we get there. But first, what happened last session? So Legion rocked on to the small town of Plainsworth, which is, it's a nice town. It was on its way to becoming a city, given that it's like a position in Aldermark, where roads kind of lead toward Plainsworth, or it's the capital. But now the undead is on its way, so it's more silent. The houses are windows kind of boarded up. People are suspicious of things. They don't like the Empire, and Legion kind of came from old Empire stuff, so the Legion's kind of camped out on a hill outside. The Legion's gonna be there for a bit. And we got a bunch of missions, and we chose we chose two missions. One of them was to investigate rumors that this nearby hamlet called Dunharrow was turned into a production facility, or this production factory for this type of zombies called spitters, which are kind of like they're like these tall, bound up bandage walking zombies with like big horrible distended mouths that basically like spit acidic bile. They're like artillery units for the undead, so that's fun. And the second mission was hold on, let me actually check. I archived that, and I shouldn't have, because you see it slipped my mind because we did it with a roll. Yeah. Oh yes, it was to the mayor of the town of Plainsworth was like, hey, we'll give you some supplies if like you get this like this carving from this sacred tree that's in the forest near Plainsworth. The problem is it's in the territory of this bandit monarch named the Vulture. So it's not even up against undead, but like, if you do this, I'll give you supplies. That mission didn't go so well. 3 people are now dead, and 2 of the specialists, which are kind of like the not important characters, but like the most well-trained, like well-equipped characters of the Legion, have now been harmed severely. And we'll get to what happened there when we get to the back at camp scene. So basically, just explain how the Legion is kind of like constructed. You got your specialists. They're the ones with like the very special playbooks, like your snipers, your scouts, your medics. You've got your rookies, which are, bless their souls. That's basically all I'll say about rookies. And the Legion is almost all comprised of rookies. If you look at through the squads, they each comprise of like, they're all rookies. None of them have been promoted yet. And we got our specialists, of course. And that's all we have at the moment. We're doing well. We're doing fine. So Patrick, let's come to the Spymaster, because we've got our commander, our marshal, our quartermaster, and our lord keeper is taking a break in a moment once again to look after some werewolves in the East Midlands. So we're gonna do the Spymaster for yourself, Patrick. So basically, the Spymaster master spies. My head told me I shouldn't have said that sentence, but it did. I did. I'm sorry. They are definitely the master of spies. So what they do is, like, when we get into the campaign action phase, which is basically the quartermaster trying their best to like make sure the Legion stays alive, the spy master gets to do a bunch of things. They can assign the spies to do missions, and there are 2 types of missions. One of them just takes a turn. It happens immediately as you assign them to. And the other are long-term campaigns. And with this one, you roll dice to see how well they're doing. And usually they do some cool stuff. Like for the simple assignments, you have stuff like healing your spies if they get wounded. Some of them is like adding dice to quartermaster actions, or adding dice to quartermaster actions, or getting intel. Long-term assignments, they take a while, but they've got some really good boons, like adding stuff to rewards, or expanding your spy network, or like specifically targeting any infamous undead, like that dickhead Black Rotting Gale has been caught. We need to find that thing. Hey, Spymaster, can you help us find this thing? Oh yeah, you can or you can get more intel, which is fair. Or you can find out all the special missions in a place, because every place has special missions and whatnot. Again, they're all there in the character sheet, but they feel free to ask questions. Once more, Spymaster is an actual character in the Legion. It's not the character creation isn't as extensive compared to like the regular soldiers. Most you choose is like their heritage, reputation, personality, and look. And I think they're all there in the character sheet for Spymaster as well. So I'll give you some time to look over that. Compared to everyone else's. Again, if you have questions like, "Oh, what do these heritages mean?" or whatever, feel free to ask at the table. Oh.
Well, yeah, I think the heritage. I have a good idea of who the as I'm remembering the manual. I think I know who the Bartons are. Can you just give me the other three real quick, like high level overview of who they are?
Yeah, give me a second because I wrote them down somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, Bartons are tall, dark. They're stoic. Let's see. The all right. I don't know how to pronounce that name because it just sounds like I'm talking to a bunch of lads in the pub. Like, all right, yeah, come on. It's like, Jesus. They're cosmopolitan. They wear fancy masks. They wide variety of skin tones. I'm reading again from the manual. Like complex embroidery. They're like fancy. Imagine them as fancy Venetians. Panyar are like they have like animal features because they live in the forest. Right. Yeah. They got cool names. They're nomadic. They travel a lot. Zemiati are like they wear braided jewelry. They're like pale skinned warriors. They keep ritual daggers for swearing blood oaths. That tells you quite a bit about them. And their names are vaguely Russian. I've just noticed that now. They got the whole patronymic Evich or Ovna sort of things. So that's what they're like.
Right. Yeah, I think when I think of the Spymaster, I kind of think of the classic M from James Bond, and I think that makes sense if we went with the more Venetian fancy Orites, right? They're the Orites.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, I've lost my... Okay, so we'll go Orite. Mm-hmm. Reputation will be shrewd. Personality will be calculating. And look will be nondescript.
Nice. All right. So our Spymaster is being a proper spy. It seems like they're hard to find in the camp. But when you meet them, it's like, you're really a Spymaster? You look like a banker.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. All right. And the other thing you need to do is, so describe them. And you're going to select 2 spies to start with. And you're going to mark one as trained and the other as master. Basically, trained rolls 1 dice when you do long-term assignments. And masters roll 2 dice. So you got a list of spies there. I'll give you time to read through them and pick yours. Oh, I see, Matt, your question.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe we should talk a little bit about our chosen.
Oh yes,
just so Patrick gets a sense of like the Legion as we are, you know.
Yes. Oh yes. So the chosen is like the avatar of the gods. They're like their representatives. The gods' abilities are channeled through the chosen. One of them is with the Legion. They're the chosen of the Horned One. They're this small, nondescript, weirdo lady in rags with like antlers, and she changes into animal. She's mysterious, aloof. Let's see, what did I pick for her? They're at the very bottom. They're under the chosen versus broken. Yeah, she's alluring and sinister is apparently what I chose. So there we go. She keeps to herself. She's quite aloof. And yeah, basically with her, your Legion is kind of like more concentrated on like recon and like guerrilla warfare. It's going really well so far, honestly. Again, whenever we're boots on the ground, we can't trust the dice apparently, But so far, our soldiers doing well. So yeah, that's kind of like your
Okay.
chosen.
All right. Well, that's helpful. I think I'm going to go with Anyetin is the master. He's an assassin.
Ooh.
And we'll go with Ingrid. She's kind of a rumor monger. She has interrogates. We'll go with Ingrid as the trained.
Hell yeah. All right. So I think yeah, you can mark those. You see those like boxes next to them. You can mark which
Okay.
one's your train and which one's our master. Cool. All right, so we've got like the general bones of the Spymaster. We'll flesh them out once we get to the campaign actions. But for now, let's get back to camp. So we finished a mission last time. So what happens afterward is we frame a scene called the back at camp. This is like short free play sort of scenes where we get a general tenor of how the Legion's doing. Normally it's the lore keeper's job, but they're not here at the moment, so it's GM, and I do get to pick from a list. But again, I'll hew to what all Legion staff does, which is like you have Legion staff have final say on what their duties are, but you should always try to get everyone's opinion in, so that we know what we want. So back at camp, the GM should select an event below based on morale, and ask our marshal, how's our morale doing?
Our morale is 6, so it's mid-range right now. We lost some last time when several of our rookies came home dead from a failed mission.
I don't know why my expression came home dead. It's just fun. That's so sad. I shouldn't be laughing at that. I'm sick. Maybe I should be drinking this coffee. Okay, so there is a list of medium morale events, and they're fairly grim. And I think part of the wishes from last week was like people wanted to see just like this is a proper failed mission, and it's involved 2 people who got hurt, and the last time a mission barely passed, including this poor officer who has had now 5 rookies die under his command. So that's fun. So I think I'm going to pick the event a squad refuses to go into the field until their captain is replaced. Is that okay with folks? And I think we're going to use the tenor. I don't think it's exactly that, but I think, okay. I'm going to ask each person like a detail, and then I'm going to frame the scene. I want to ask, like, once this failed mission has come back, 2 specialists heavily wounded, took the 2nd highest level harm, 3 rookies dead. I want to get like a, either not a scene, but like a moment in the Legion of like what are folks thinking, or like even from like the command staff you're playing, like, what do they think about what's happened, what's their opinion, or like a scene in a very short like snapshot in the Legion of how people are reacting to this failed mission. Just a reminder, this mission was kind of like a personal favor for the mayor against a bunch of bandits.
I've got a session. I think obviously you've got people that are, you got a lot of sadness, but you've also kind of got a shock because we've gone up against undead and come out of it. We've like trudged our way through undead. Like we invaded an entire village that had been infested with undead and come out on top. We've rescued we've rescued an alchemist from the clutches of like some elite units of renders. Like we've done all of that stuff, and we've gotten out of there without losing anybody. And then then this mission that everybody thought was going to basically be a cakewalk. Go in, get a cutting from this tree, and just basically deal with some human bandits. After going up against undead, how difficult could that be? and then having that be the one that like basically gives us the bloody nose and black eye is everybody's just sort of in shock that's the one that went badly, like because everyone expected like the mission going into Dunharrow to be the one that was going to go badly. Like that was the one that we expected to really be hard and really have us have to pull out all the stops, and that one went surprisingly well.
Yeah,
So-
I'm very surprised as well.
Yeah, so I mean, everybody's just sort of you got that sort of stunned state, and what I'm thinking is that maybe part of the intel we get from the people that are coming back, like the two specialists that sort of are drag themselves back to camp, is that maybe because the generally what the general guidelines are is like the region rarely like completely just screws it up. It's usually they get into something and it's a lot worse than they thought it was supposed to be. And I'm thinking this is a situation where they went to the tree and they got ambushed by what basically was a small army, like not like 20 or 30 bandits, not like people that are used to robbing people, but these are like maybe these are deserting soldiers that like took their equipment off the Western Front and they ran in and joined up with this bandit lord. And so you got surprisingly well equipped and well trained soldiers, not just folks that have fled their farms in front of all this stuff, but actually trained soldiers that are now running with this bandit king. And they were not expecting that, and with just two specialists and a few rookies, like they were not ready for it.
Now that you said it, it is going to happen in fiction now. If you ever end up against this bandit monarch, you're going to be expecting soldiers now. So that's fun. Anyone else have a detail they want to add?
Yeah, I think our commander, Melislav Zayevich, is just the equivalent of shell-shocked. Maybe actually shell-shocked, although I don't think we have artillery. But just is mumbling about how every move was anticipated. There were soldiers coming from the trees, soldiers coming from nowhere. And I think, it's a he. I think he needs to be taken very, very patiently and laid down. I think they're both quite wounded, but he just keeps mumbling until he passes out, be that with the help of medicine or just by himself.
Yeah, I think I've added that to his sheet. He now has a level 3 harm, shell shocked, I guess. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna. I just have an idea for the next thing. Like,
Oh, okay. No, go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt. So I think so our mission to Spitter Factory went like literally flawless. Like nothing happened bad for us. Like no one died, no one got hurt.
Did they
We
even know
barely
you were
spent
there?
even stress. And yeah, we got in and out without being noticed. And I think Flood is sort of he's sort of like cruel or arrogant about the fact that like everyone like he thinks that Melislav is like not cut out for this, and he's like sort of he's not the type of person to like brag, but he's just like sort of coldly sitting back and like he's just like a little bit disgusted almost with the leadership of on that mission, because like it's like it was unprofessional, like they should have gotten out of there if they and it's just a bandit king. It's not even undead. Like I think he'd be pretty cold about it.
Cool. Patrick, I know like this is your first game with us, but like honestly, Legion's fairly broad. There's like 3 more squads we've not detailed. If you want to add like a detail, feel free to do so. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. But
I'm kind of thinking in the terms of what's going on through the Spymaster's head, and I think I'm going to name him Anton Martico. I did a little Orite name generator that came up. So Anton, I think Anton has a this kind of reinforces his belief that direct confrontation is not the right way to go in most circumstances, and that it sounds like the successful mission was more of a sneak in, sneak out type event, and that's the kind of thing that Anton's like, that's what we need to be doing, and not this let's take the swords and go and the guns and go right in the face of the enemy, whether that be undead or bandits. So this is kind of reinforcing that notion of his, that we need to be doing things more guerrilla, more secretive, and not do the face-to-face stuff.
that makes sense. And yeah, and then we can do I think I'd still like to do it like a short, like free play sort of scene. And yes, it is definitely. I mean, the one I picked is a squad. Let me double check that. A squad refused to go into the field until their captain is replaced. Let's just say like maybe it is a bunch of soldiers grousing about or talking about poor Melislav, our officer. Is that good with folks? Cool. And I know. Oh, go ahead, Matt. Sorry, I thought you said. I thought I heard a click, and that might just be my outside door. Yeah. So maybe this is, and I'll frame the scene. Maybe this is like kind of outside the medical tent, where these poor soldiers are probably like been laid, and probably Landgrave Farah, who is the other specialist in that mission, got really hurt as well. Second time she got hurt. Poor dear. And maybe it is just like and Melislav is also there as well, kind of like like trying to sleep, or well, he's asleep, but mumbling to himself. And I think this is like these group of legionnaires talking just like a couple feet away from outside the medical tent. They're not inside. That'll be ridiculous. But like it's just like a fairly informal sort of like circle of soldiers kind of talking about what happened. And I think it's actually also a bit close to the Lord Keeper, where the Lord Keeper is. She's the one. Is she? Yeah, she's the one in charge of the annals. She keeps charge of the tales of the Legion. But yeah, there's just this group of soldiers, and Patrick, feel free to make one up. You don't have to pick one. Again, we have a long list of soldiers who don't have names. All of them are rookies, though, so we'll keep that in mind. There are some that haven't been that fleshed out yet, but yeah, who do you think who wants to like play who in this scene?
Quick question: which squad of rookies did we send on that particular mission? I can't remember.
I'll ask a marshal.
I believe that was the Silver Stags.
Oh yeah.
So there's only 2 of the Silver Stags left. So I'm guessing those 2 are probably at least a big part of that grumbling.
Oh yeah,
because they just lost all of their squad mates.
Ooh, yeah. Do you want to play one of those, or do you have an idea of who you want to play? Chris, sorry.
Oh, well, I think one thing I think we might see, and I'm not sure if I want to play one of those yet or not, but one thing we might see is I think maybe the Lord Keeper off to the side is talking to Farah, trying to get some idea of exactly how things went down, because the officer is shell shocked. He's going through some serious PTSD stuff, and he can't really help her all that much at this point. So she's trying to ask questions of Farah, and Farah's, she's not much better really, but she's not at that stage. She's just very taciturn and withdrawn. So the lore keeper's trying to work with her to sort of coax details out of her while she's being treated, and that's probably taking the vast majority of both of their attention.
Cool. That's a nice detail. I'll play one of these grousing rookies, just like get people to like call to arms. Patrick?
I'm looking for the list. I know I saw the list of characters before, but now I can't find it.
No worries. I don't think there's any named other silver stags. You'll feel so you can. Are you looking for like specific character names lists?
Oh, I thought you had like a list of pre-rolled characters that were.
Oh no,
I
none of
thought I
them
saw
are
them.
Some of them already have names, but the silver stags, if you go down to the Roll20, there's like a folder for silver stags. Oh, yeah, it's empty right now because all the sheets are hidden. That's why.
Okay.
That's why. I just realized that because I'm the GM, I can see all this, but y'all can't.
Okay.
That's my bad. But yeah, there aren't any names. There's not any pre-gen. There's like some blank character sheets waiting to be filled in case they come on the mission.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a recruit rookie as a character in the scene, and so yes, that's what I'll take.
Cool. Dan, who do you want to be?
If I could be I feel like maybe the marshal might be bringing up the idea of these two remaining rookies in this unit. Going out with the officer on a future mission.
Mm-hmm. And oh yeah, not everyone has to be in the scene, but like if you want to, feel free to do so. What about? Oh, go on, Chris.
Oh, I'm thinking if the marshal's discussing that, the commander might be a part of that discussion, unless the marshal has made it a point just to talk to those remaining squad members. To kind of, because I can see him wanting to take them aside after that fiasco, and wanting to do that, and not necessarily making it a command discussion, but maybe just a rookie discussion.
I was thinking about the latter, but I definitely wouldn't mind having the commander there.
Okay, I'll maybe the commander will sort of she'll walk past to start with and go into the tent to check on the officer and to see about maybe the treatment going on in there with the lore keeper and Farah, and then maybe she'll come in at the end of it.
Cool. Matt, I hope you're there, Matt. But did you want to be in this scene?
Oh, I didn't realize my camera was off. I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the scene's a little full if we've got both rookies covered, you know.
You can play the rookie if you want. Like, I don't have to jump in.
Yeah, maybe I'll play the rookie if that's cool with you, Leandro.
No worries.
And
right.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll frame the scene again. You're kind of like on the outside of the medical tent. These two rookies, Patrick and Matt. No, that's not their names, but it could be. No, that'll be weird. And the commander, is inside the tent, and these two rookies are talking to the marshal. And again, I think it's probably like it's a nice day outside Plainsworth. It's too nice. Like, given the mood of the camp, it's a bright, sunny, beautiful blue day. Well, except for the smoke coming from the burning capital of Carlsberg. So there's some smoke in the air, but other than that, it's fairly okay. And Melislav, you can hear like there's amidst the lore keeper talking to Melislav just going, the vulture, and all that. And then we cut these two, the last two remaining silver stags.
There's nothing like we can say that they're Barton or whatever.
Yep.
We can. kind of fill it in. Okay, I think my rookie was probably Barton guy who was very gung ho about this. Maybe this was his first mission, and he was super excited to take part and win glory and he's come back and he's just like he's silent and stunned and this isn't what he thought he was signing up for. This is kind of the opposite of what he signed up for. So he was a young guy who was very positive, optimistic, outgoing, and now he's come back and he's just not talking and has kind of a glazed look.
Cool. What about our other rookie? What are they? What's their like? What are
Yeah,
they?
I think he's a Zemyati. Let's call him. Some of these names are insane. Let's call him Theonin. And let's say he's kind of like he's like a big like one day he'll be a heavy, right? But currently he's just like the biggest guy on the squad. And he's sort of he's got that like rookie arrogance thing, like like they couldn't handle it and that's why they died. Like just very he doesn't fully get the danger he's in, but also is like totally full of himself to like believe that like it was something that he did that allowed him to survive. So I think yeah, exactly, Chris. Yeah. And so I think he's so he's sitting there, he's like, why should we have to follow an officer that can't even rally these rookies? Like that officer can't even protect himself.
Marshall, what do you say to that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I saw you on mute there, Patrick.
Oh, I'm just going to throw out. My name's Arun, Arun. So Arun, and I'm just quiet. I'm just like looking down at the ground.
I know you boys got dealt a bum hand. Looks like 3 of your squad mates didn't make it back. And you may know that I was a stag when I was coming up through the ranks. So that is very hard for me to take. And so I want you to know that that officer, oh, where did her name go? Officer Zayevich will get better. We've got mercies. We've got the medic over there, and on his next mission, I would like you boys to accompany him. And this is the most important part. I need you to return alive, and I want you to speak to me directly with a critical eye about exactly what this officer has been doing. I haven't been on a mission with him, but I would like to know why several young men and women have come home dead under this officer's command, and I would like you to reconnoiter that for me. Now, this is between you two and I. Do you think this is possible?
You up for that, rookie?
I'm just like continue to look at the ground, and I'm squeezing the grip of my sword really tight, like my hand is white from it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I have to go in there, I might as well do something useful. That that officer didn't. He doesn't understand our skills, and he sent the weak ones in, got them killed. While I just, he held me back. I don't know why he's doing this, but hey, at least I might be able to help the Legion, and if I can get this officer, get that intel for you.
That's the kind of attitude I like. What's your name? Are you Theonin?
Yeah, Private Theonin.
Good, Theonin. Well, you know me. I'm the Marshal, as well. And
Arun finally speaks up. He's like, I don't believe in rank. Now that I've seen this, Marshal, I understand I respect you and where you've come from, but there's no reason I need to follow this officer. This is no captain. We have no hierarchy here. Why do I need to follow this person?
Rookie Aaron, are you disregarding a request at this point? Not yet a command.
I appreciate your experience, but I can't see following this person again. And this officer has lost the respect of her entire team. If it were me, I'd put somebody else in charge next time. And if she wants to come along, great. But I won't follow her. I'll follow you, but I won't follow her.
I will take that under advisement. I appreciate you've lost some squad mates, possibly friends. But when it comes to saving the remainder of our race, I think it's important that we each follow our own duty. And right now, your duty is to follow the orders of your commanding officers, follow the orders of your marshal and your commander.
I'll lead us if that's what we need. If we need a leader.
Oh, this boy.
What's Matt's character's name? Matt, what's your character?
Theonin.
I'd follow Theonin before I'd follow her again.
Well, Private Theonin, that may be a little. You may be jumping the gun a little, but let's get you out. Let's get you out on the field, get you some experience, and Melislav is a he. Sorry. Let's get you out on the field, and you're the kind of young man that I believe can rise through the ranks of this legion quite quickly. And let's do that at our soonest possibility.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, you boys have some mourning to do, as do we all, and so I will take my leave and leave you to it.
I think we can cut in there unless the commander wants to cut in, but I think that scene should be fine. But unless
no, that scene's good. I'm cool.
Oh, so we keep asking like, oh, is there dissension in Legion ranks? Oh, finally, there we go. It's gonna affect our engagement rolls if these two are in. Just saying, Marshall. Just saying. All right. So now we get into the campaign phase. Again, I put the summary at the bottom of the map in the Roll20. So first thing that happens is time passes. Time and pressure in the commander roll book increased by 1 each. That fills up a clock.
Wait, does time pass every single time? Wow.
Yeah.
So that first clock is now filled.
Yeah.
Summer ends and the south falls.
Yes. So let's just say Okay, actually, no. Here's the thing: the fires in the city of Carlsberg, they mysteriously stop. Suddenly, there are no more fires. But there's not much anything there. But I think that's what people see. It's like the smoke that have been a grim reminder of the war suddenly just gone, just suddenly. And well, you can I think you can totally take back those those time ticks with some long-term projects in the future for sure, because if that third clock fills, the game is over. But a clock is filled, which means Bro can get some abilities. I'm gonna look into that when we take our break later. Because we'll have to consider that into the missions. Oh yay. So yeah, time and pressure increases. The quartermaster must spend 1 food used to feed the legion, or the legion loses 2 morale. How's that going, quartermaster?
Good. We can spend a food.
Yeah, you got a lot of food. You've got a lot of supplies, save for horses, and we've been finding out that they can be kind of good if we had them. Sad to say. The Lord Keeper will tell us their tales of the Legion if enough Legionnaires have died. Sadly, David's not here, so we're not going to do that. Sad. You've gotten some nice stuff, but I'm not going to do a thing that's meant for him. Basically, when he should have, if we ever see him again, but I'm going to ask him to do some homework, basically, come up with some tales, because y'all get some bonus effects. Now we go to the campaign actions. The quartermaster takes campaign actions. The Legion will get a number of campaign actions for free based on troop morale. This is also when the Spymaster deploys their spies on assignments. But first, quartermaster, what are you thinking of doing? Oh, first you have to ask how much morale. Oh, how much morale we have.
Yeah, where are we at morale wise?
We are at 6 morale, so we get 1 free campaign action based on that.
Whoa, that's a big difference.
I'd suggest we maybe start thinking about some sort of project we can do to hedge some of that time. Because I mean, we just finished one to help us a little bit, and I think that'll be good. But like that first clock filling up is a big deal. we want to head off that second clock filling up as long as we can.
Yeah, I mean, the map project will help that when we advance because of the pressure. I don't think we can start a new long-term project though with this set of campaign actions, just because we don't have any supply to spend for extra actions. And I think we need to, at the very least, begin healing our people. And I think the way that I would do it is do rest and recuperation with our 1 free action. See if Feyre can boost that for a second tick, and then wound a mercy for another tick on Feyre, but leave Melislav with 1 tick left on the harm clock, because we don't have any supply to spend to get more actions.
Okay, so just to translate all that for Patrick, the quartermaster has a bunch of campaign actions. One of them is rest and recuperate. That's how we heal up our soldiers who are wounded. Mercies are kind of like, they're very weird doctors in that they can take on people's wounds for them. That's one of the ways you can get rid of. You can add, tick to the healing clock. And Landgrave Feyre, one of the specialists, one of her traits lets her boost the campaign action. Basically, it upgrades it. And yeah, the boosted rest and recuperate really helps in healing, for sure.
The downside to this is it means that we can't clear any stress. And also, yeah, I mean, we can't recruit anyone to fill the stags back, but I kind of feel like we're not going to take them on the next mission, because I'd like to think that we're also going to leave Melislav behind, because he'd be basically useless not behind, but
Yeah, for some reason I thought you're gonna abandon him.
no, not abandon him, but like he's not going to be able to go on a mission because level 3 harm is basically like you're useless. Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you need help every time you want to do something.
Oh, clarifying question. So, does this mean we are removing all wounds from Landgrave Farah and leaving Melislav Zayevich with 1 wound? Is that what I understand?
Yeah, so Farah will get all 3 ticks on level 3 harm, and that would clear it for her. And then and Melislav would get 2 ticks.
All right. 2 ticks removed.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, no.
the way it
Basically,
works,
oh, go ahead.
you see how it's like a inverted pyramid where there's on level 1 there's 1 box, on level 2 there's 2 boxes, and on level 3 there are 3, like those little guys.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the martial paperwork. I will look at the actual paperwork.
So instead of like a clock, like in Blades in the Dark, you have ticks at each harm level. And once you fill those ticks at that harm level, you clear that harm. This would also clear anyone. This would also give 2 ticks to anyone else who has harm, which I don't think there is anyone, but if there is,
I think it's only those 2. So, yeah, are folks okay with going with recover? Sorry, someone's passing by, blaring some radio. It's like, what the fuck's happening? Okay. So yeah, I think all right. So we turn to our Spymaster. So you've got 2 spies, and you've got simple assignments or long-term assignments. I'll go through each one of these, just so everyone else will know what our Spymaster can do. So for simple assignments, you've got recover. The spy heals and recuperates, remove their wounded condition. Basically, spies can get wounded if some dice rolls go wrong. And simple assignments are automatic. Once you say, "Oh, I want them to do this," it just happens. There's also interrogate. You can ask the commander for the intel questions list. The list is already there in the Roll20. And basically, your spy sent on a mission can answer 1 question from any list, regardless of the commander's intel total. Usually depends on how much intel the commander has. That determines what questions they can ask. But you can ask any question if you send them to interrogate. You can, and you do this before I present what missions you're gonna play today. You can also blackmail, spy, bribes, or threatens as needed. You add +1 dice to an acquire assets roll. It's not going to happen because we didn't do acquire assets. Imagine that, the number of horses you could have gotten. Save that for next time. You can also help, which again, more bribes and threatens. You can add another die to a long-term project. We chose not to do that. But again, something to look forward to in the future in case we need to do a project to get rid of some time. And there are long-term assignments. Now these take, well, time. They need to fill up some clocks, and you're going to roll dice to see how much of those ticks are filled. First, there's Augment Missions. Basically, use your contacts to bolster the commander's mission selection. When that mission is complete, next time I generate missions, you can add +1 to the rewards, and let's see, tell them to add +1 to the rewards and mission penalty rolls on 1 mission of the commander's focus type. That type must appear once. Basically, what you're saying is, all right, the commander wants this specific mission. I'm going to make it appear, and it's got extra rewards and extra penalties. So high risk, high reward. There is expand network. You have a network, and you can get advancements. You know, even the Spymaster gets advancements. So you can choose to bolster your spy network, and then you get extra stuff. You got a network there at the bottom of your sheet. Lay trap. Goad an undead with a known weakness. So basically, this is like, all right, we need to take out a specific undead. This Black Rotting Gale tanks motherfucker who's ruining the forest. We need to find him. When you complete that mission, a specific assault mission attacking that undead is going to show up in the in the next mission generation. There's recruit. You want more spies? You can recruit spies, but you can only have 2 at the moment. So you only do that if you lose a spy, or if you get the advancement that lets you have 3 spies, which means more rolling dice, make you do stuff. And there's also research. This is undercover skies, research an area for high reward missions. This is because usually each region has special missions that have big rewards. Usually you need to spend intel or get lucky when I roll random dice, random mission generation. But if you complete this, you can hey, I know all the special missions in this place now because I'm a good spy. So those are kind of a lot of your options. You've got 2 spies. What are you thinking of doing?
So a couple of clarifying questions. If you take a long-term assignment, it takes one of the agents off the books for the 8. These are all 8 clock. So is that what happens? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I assume so. Yeah. That means they're concentrating on that.
Right.
Actually,
or not. Yeah.
Actually, no. I think this is what they concentrate on that. But you can send a different spy to work on that clock next time we do this.
Oh, okay. Okay. Great. Okay. And in terms of simple assignments, that, like you said, that just happens now. So, but if somebody was working on a long-term assignment, they couldn't do a simple assignment.
No.
Is that right? No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You have 2 spies, so you can do 2 things, and they can't.
Okay.
You're saying you want them to both work on a long-term assignment?
No, I'm just asking the options. If we have 2 spies, my assumption is you could deploy them against 2 long-term assignments and take them off the books each for 8 clocks, or you could have one working on a long-term assignment and one working on simple assignments ongoing.
Yes, both of them are good. The only thing you can't do is you can't assign 2 spies to the same long-term assignment.
Right. Okay. And it doesn't seem like right now we have anything. It doesn't make sense to do recover, blackmail, or help because those aren't really useful. I'd ask the commander. I don't know where the initial the intel questions are, but I could just ask the commander: or is there need for us to focus a spy on intel questions, because we have one that actually has a bonus to that.
Well, if we don't have anything else that looks like it would benefit us more, I'd say having extra intel questions are always good. And if we got a spy that gives us a bonus to that, that would be, certainly we can make use of that if there's not another project that the spy would be better used for.
We have 3 intel right now. Just
2.
Just curious. We have 2. Okay.
Yeah, so you can ask 2 questions, but you have one that a spy that specializes in interrogate. So you can ask 4 by the end of this, for sure.
Would that be? Is that good? Would that be useful, or is that overkill?
Well, since we need to be really picky about our missions this time, given our reduced resources and need for morale, I can't say that wouldn't be helpful.
We'll probably want to spend at least one of those intel, I would think, on an engagement roll.
Yeah, so certainly the extra intel questions that the spy could give us would be very helpful.
All right, then why don't we send Ingrid out on a interrogate mission?
Okay. All right. You can ask those questions later once I've presented all the missions.
Got it. Okay.
So you don't have to ask them now. All right. So Ingrid has a specialty. You can ask a 1 additional intel. So 4 questions. That's a lot.
Okay.
Cool.
And then we also have Anyetin. He's good for augment missions, which we don't have a need for right now. So maybe he goes on a long-term assignment. Does anybody have any? So we have augment missions, expand network. We have lay trap. Do we? It says the next mission list will include an assault mission to attack a specific lieutenant or infamous. Does it feel like we're ready to do that? Or that takes a while to generate. So that's an 8 o'clock. So maybe at that point we would be ready to lay a trap.
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build up Silver Surging Flood to get Crimson Shot, which is level 4. What I'm going to do is ideally you take Survivor so that he can take extra trauma. And anytime you shoot Crimson Shot, you take a trauma. And so the idea here, the idea behind that is that he'll be able to take out a lieutenant or possibly even a chosen at some point, or excuse me, a broken at some point. But that's a ways off. That's like some ways off.
And so with lay trap would make it so that at some point we would have the next mission list would definitely include an assault to attack a lieutenant or infamous. So that would be nice to start setting up now as you build up that ability. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I think that makes a lot of sense unless anybody has another. All right, let's do it. Let's lay the trap.
Okay. All right. So what you're gonna do is there's that roll button, Nick, on Yetin. Just click roll. I don't think you get any bonus dice. You roll 2 dice anyway. You're muted, Patrick.
Sorry. So I'm on Yetin and I hit. Oh, this is awesome! What amazing.
Yeah. I don't think you get any bonus dice.
All right. So I just submit.
Hey, that's a 5. So we take the highest when we roll that. So on a 5, okay, 2 ticks. So taking your time. You're taking your time to lay this trap and to find a specific lieutenant. I'll say right now, the last mission, the intel they got is like this big horror with a capital H with all these tanks with these fumes. That is a specific lieutenant. The one is creating all these spitters. All right, so that's our Spymaster action. 4 intel questions. All right, we've done campaign actions. Up next, Commander, is the Legion advancing?
We are not.
Cool. So I did not generate missions for the next because there's a choice, and I did not generate any missions for either of those choices. So thanks very much. All right. Now we go on the mission. You already chose the mission focus, which is the supply. All right. Now we see what the missions you've got are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the players. I showed everyone. If you go to Plainsworth, there's mission selection 0501. Yes, here in Europe, we put the day first before the month. Sorry. So I'm going to read out the mission selection. Actually, I might wait for Matt to show up to come back. So I know the BRB. Happy to read that. Well, I've already showed the mission selection. You feel free to read that, but I'm still going to read them out once Matt's back. I see Dan's making a face. I see Chris is being waylaid by a pirate.
A spider pirate, no less.
A spider pirate. That sounds terrifying. Okay.
Okay. I'm just sort of looking at these. I can see. I think we could really use that +2 morale on mission 1. That looks really, really good, and we get another relic out of that. So I'm leaning towards picking that as one of the 2 missions, and then doing the And getting another medic would be nice.
All right, so yeah, Matt's here. I'm gonna read out the missions again. I know you're talking to Commander, but like anyone who might be watching this, I'll just read them out. I don't know if anyone's watching this. If you are, I hope you're enjoying what we've been doing. All right, so mission 1 is the special mission that you rolled for last week, Commander. Nearby is a storied place from the Legion's history. The Tantari banner, original symbol of the Legion's authority, was lost when the Empire fell. After the breaking 3 years ago, one of the Broken set up a dig site to look for it. Undead have been spotted returning there. The mission is to finish the dig while fending off any challengers. You get +2 morale, and you get a relic, that banner, which lets the Marshal ignore the morale penalty of up to 5 deaths. So basically, if a mission phase ends with like, say, oh, we lost 3 people, therefore we lose 3 morale, Marshal can say, we got the banner. and that means you don't lose morale. Somehow, if a mission phase ends with 6 people dead, which unlikely, but it could happen, that means the most you lose is 1 morale. It's a pretty fucking powerful banner there. The next mission is a holy pilgrimage. Blessed under the name of the goddess Ashrika is said to be arriving soon from the long road. However, it's been a day since their appointed arrival time. The pilgrims is said to bring news and supplies to the town of Plainsworth. Little resource their own, Plainsworth is forced to turn to the Legion, asking to find out what happened to the missing pilgrimage, and in return, getting a share of the supplies if they're still intact. So they get +2 supply, but you lose morale for that. And the third mission is a religious escort mission. Undeterred by the Legion's failure to secure the cutting from the Welding Tree, the mayor's own daughter, Saraya Veit, has asked, it says task, but I meant to say asked, the Legion, or I guess, tasked the Legion with a chance to redeem themselves from their horrible, horrible failure, which is to escort her and her package, which is a small seedling tree, to a sacred pond at the end of the forest, to basically create her own. They have the welding tree. I'm going to create my own welding tree for the town. It is at the edge of the vulture's territory. And once that's done, you get her, basically, as a new medic. But penalties, again, loss of morale. So sorry about that. The Commander interrupted your spiel. But yeah.
Okay, I think I'm definitely leaning towards mission 1 as being one of the 2 we pick. And I'm a little torn as to the mission 2 or 3 as our other mission. Like, both of them lose us morale, but it's only 1 morale. Having +2 supply is really good, but having an additional specialist is also really good. Thoughts from folks?
I like the idea of a specialist, but we are really, since we're lower on morale and also have no supplies, the campaign action phase is really taxed by that. So obviously if we succeed on mission 1, we get +2 morale. One of these we want to take. So we're automatically getting +1 morale regardless, right? But the +2 supply could mean that we could get ahead, again back to where we were. Whereas the specialist, like, we have a medic. It'd be nice to attach a medic to missions, but if they're not controlled by a player character, then they have less of a benefit to us.
Oh, yeah. Just for context, Patrick, we used to have 10 morale.
Yeah, all it takes is one bad mission.
Yikes.
Okay. So, all right, I'm definitely leaning towards seeing if we can get a hold of that Tantari banner. Like, that would be super useful. And I'm leaning towards getting a hold of the supplies. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll back up what Matt is saying. I think We've got our our current full starting supply of specialists, so that's pretty good. And a medic is cool, but yeah, I would much prefer staving off like desertion, which is something that can happen when we are lower on morale and supply starts running low.
Okay. All right. So, all right.
Running
So
away
we're
from
looking
the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it looks like we're picking missions 1 and 2. Let's see.
Oh, you can ask Intel at this point before you start deciding which one's primary, which one's secondary.
Okay.
So okay. So you have 2 Intel, so you can ask any question up to like the 3rd box. Yeah, so that's 2 questions. The other 2 that the spy gets, you can ask from any box, including that 4th one.
Okay. All right. So,
Can I ask where you're looking at these? I'm sorry.
They're at the bottom of the Roll20 as well. They're next to
Okay.
campaign phase summary. If you go to the map, scroll down.
they're on the bottom right.
Got it. Yeah, I see them. Thanks. Or
Let's see. So effectively, right now we have effectively like 4 intel for the purposes of choosing questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So I've got 1 question out of the 4th list. So.
And feel free to get input as well from folks. If,
Okay. Out of the 3 or more intel list, I'm thinking of of asking about special missions at a location ahead.
Here's where it gets tricky because you have a choice, 2 locations, because when we advance, you choose either to go up the mountains or down the plain. And I'm not going to be like a total asshole and just like pick a random mission, not tell you which one from that. I get the feel. Stop me if I'm speaking, but like, I get the feeling you all want to go to the forest.
I'm definitely leaning towards the forest as I'm looking forward. So, if we took the forest road, what would be our what would be special missions we could look at that next location?
All right. Oh, okay. You've heard. Here's a scuttlebutt you hear from Plainsworth. There is a man named Natar, the self-styled horse lord, who has thrown in with the broken. He's hosting a lieutenant in his own tent. And his riders are beginning to exhibit signs of corruption. However, his horses are still good. But they're not just any horses. They are the legendary fire mains. And if you can get those fire mains, it'll be pretty good, because you know what fire mains do? You get 1 fire main, which is 3 uses, but instead of reducing pressure by 1, they reduce it by 2.
Okay. All right. So that would be a mission at the Sunstrider camp, which would be our next one up if we took the forest road. Is that right? Okay. Okay. Now out of the 2 or more intel. What's the main weakness of which infamous or lieutenant might we face on the mission after the Tantari banner?
Ooh, hold on, let me go through. Let's see. Let me double check, because I need to look at the broken armies. There's some really nice pictures of these undead armies. Let's see, which infamous or lieutenant? Let's see. Here we go. It's an infamous you nearly met back when you're trying to rescue that alchemist. I think it's very obvious when like people are scouting out that dig site, they hear like the voices of many undead just howling through this one pale-skinned hound. The hound you nearly came across. It's called Eater. Yeah, it should be called Howler. I don't know why it's called Eater. Oh, because okay, here's a write-up. This pale-skinned hound feasts on the last breath of the dying, stealing a touch of their essence. So it's not just howling deaths; it's dying breaths. So I think that's the sound of the dig site. So yeah, that's who's guarding the Tantari banner.
Okay, on the one or more intel. Which Broken's troops might we face on the rescue supplies mission?
I think definitely it would be Render's troops for Patrick's sake. Render the Broken is like the generals. Render is like the militaristic, hard ass, has actual evil humans following him instead of just undead. He's all about war. He's got a ridiculous heavy metal armor. He's got knights, and I think part of the intel is just like they would have the wherewithal to cut off a pilgrimage, to like properly go after them. So it would be his troops, his horse troops. Well, not just horse troops. Yeah.
Okay, and on the last 0 or more intel questions. What's the highest threat rating we can expect on each of these 2 missions?
On each of these missions. Okay, cool. So on the pilgrimage one, you hear reports that Render has begun to field into the field these like, how you met some of those knights. They're just humans who follow Render. Well, some of them have been pumped full of what this fluid called cinder blood, and they've grown in size and stature, and they've wear now more ornate armor, and to show that they're committed to Render, they've carved out their hearts. So there's now a hole where their hearts is. So they're not, Render. This is the ability I picked for Render. He is now fielding Heartless. That's who you'll find in the pilgrimage mission. For the Tantari banner mission, well, there's no higher threat than Eater, for sure. And I think you'll get a sense like it's a bunch of like random undead mostly, but like Eater's there. You get the feeling like he's almost taunting the Legion to come after the banner. So those are the threats for your missions.
Okay. Now, as far as which one we want to play out, it sounds like the most dangerous threat might be the Render troops, because he's got the new Heartless stuff, right? Yeah. Are they higher threat value as far as we know? That are they a bigger threat or equal threat to Howler? Eater.
Let's see. Heartless are elites. They're big and ornery, and that could affect effect. That's why my words are tripping. But there are a lot of them, and they're like a new threat. Eater is an infamous, so they're a threat above an elite. So Eater would be like the biggest threat, but there's only one of him. That's the important part as well. One level 3 threat against like who knows how many level 2 threats. You asked for tough choices. So.
Oh yeah, we definitely got tough choices here. Okay. All right, both of these missions are important. Whichever one we pick to play, I think I would lean towards definitely spending intel to give extra dice to the engagement roll on the other, to make sure that we don't have another fiasco like the last one.
Oh, you should have
So
seen that, Patrick, when he wrote 2-1s. 2-1s.
it was ugly. What are folks' thoughts on which of those two we should play out? We've got the Heartless and the rescue supplies mission, and we've got Eater on the banner mission. I love the idea of playing out the reclamation of the banner, but it might actually be logistically smarter to play out the other one because we are facing a much more troublesome group over there. I don't know.
I have a quick question. So I noticed that the mission type for mission 2 is holy, but do we not get? We only get favor for missions that are tagged with favor. Is that correct?
I should be tagging them with favor. That's if there's a holy or wild next to it, that should mean it has favor. I should have explained that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So for Patrick's sake, favor is what if there is a mission that's tagged with a favor, which is like different types. There's like wild and holy. That means that like there's some religious aspect to it, or there's something connected to the gods with it. And if you complete missions that has the favor that you're chosen favors, Jesus Christ, you level up. You're chosen because they also have abilities that they can get. So I should explain that. So the supply mission will has a favor of holy, which is one of the things your chosen likes. So if you complete that, you get favor with her. Not to make your choice any more difficult, but
I really don't have a preference because I'm new to it, so it'll all be new and fun to me.
you're just like, newcomer, I've not seen your struggles. It's fine.
The greater the largest threat level on any given mission that we follow our troop onto, that we play out, the greater the experience reward. Right?
Yes. Yeah, actually, yeah. The bigger the threat in the mission, the more XP you get. So
Right.
So
but that doesn't apply to secondary missions. So
no.
yeah, this is why our our officer has like no XP in anything at this point.
Oh, sorry, I just looked up. Actually, for secondary missions, only the specialists get, whether they succeed or fail, any specialist who survive gets 2 XP. So officer should have 4, at least some. And I mean,
Hero should have 2. Should have
4 as well.
And Farah should have 4 more. Okay.
Cool. I'm sorry. I when I said that, do you not get XP? No, you must get XP. So I just double check. Yes, you do get XP. But only specialists.
Okay, so what I'm leaning toward then is playing out the banner reclamation and rolling for the rescue supplies. And the rescue supplies, I'm leaning towards spending at least one of our 2 intel to up that roll. At least one, maybe both intel on that mission. Because if we're playing out the other mission, we can salvage a lot if we blow the engagement roll on that one. Like that just changes our position and but we have the ability to wade into that mess and clean it up a little bit. Whereas on the if we're just rolling once, we've only got that one roll. So
yeah. Yeah. Is everyone okay with that? All right. So before we get into, I think we've been here for like an hour and a half. So let's take a break. Let's take a good 10-minute break. I need some water. My throat is going. Let's take 10, and then we'll build out the engagement roll, figure out who's going on what mission, and then Patrick, you get to enjoy. You get to see how Forge in the Dark goes. So
Great.
and all alone, you're facing twilight home without without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter. Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, afraid for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask with you. a cage of bones. There's nothing inside. Will it always be burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at Paul's masquerade. I'm in both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, night sky.
Wish there was a way to like just close it more gently than that. Just not like big. Oh well. All right, I think we're just waiting for Matt. Cool. Let's see, how are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? We're doing fine. Like, come on, you. Let's hope this goes as well as the last mission, which went amazingly well. Fingers crossed. Hell yeah. Okay. I guess. Okay, everyone's back. Patrick's eating a bagel. All right, we'll turn to our Marshal. Gray Vexing Forest. Who's going on what mission?
That is such a good question. So, since these are both supply missions, we will have to split up our scout and our heavy. Our officer is currently out of commission. So, Scarlet Dancing Glade will want to go on one mission and Landgrave Feyre on the other. Do we have any preference on how we split these two up?
So I would suggest probably the scout on the mission that's going after the rescue supplies. That seems like more of a sneaky mission.
That sounds good.
And with this dig thing, I don't think there's going to be nearly as much sneaking for us to do. Honestly, I think we're going to have to. We're probably just going to have to, get in there and get this thing and run. There's not going to be. They've already occupied the site. I don't know how much sneaking we'll be able to do.
Very good. All right. I support you in that. And I think that's a good point. And we are playing out the, so we'll be playing out the banner mission.
Yes.
Great. In that case, would anyone like to make a case for bringing more rookies along on the banner mission rather than, let's see here. My inclination is to send Landgrave Feyre as well as Flood and our medic whose name is Raya Arani, as well as 2 rookies on the banner mission, and then send Scarlet Dancing Glade with basically a full 4 rookies on the rescue mission. The rescue mission. Does anyone have any objection to this?
That sounds fairly reasonable to me, because we know we're going to be facing a fairly stiff opposition on the banner mission. So Flood and Feyre have made a pretty dangerous team before. So
for Patrick's sake, for anyone who did not watch the first session because it's someone else's YouTube account, Landgrave Feyre and Silver Surging Flood managed to take down an Infamous just between the two of them. And Infamous are threat 3 and Legionnaires started threat 1, and the maths we had to do to get them to a great effect it was not worth it anyway. You decapitate the shit out of that doctor. So yeah, that's sound logic.
In that case, let's say I'd like to see some of these rookies that we've worked with before. So let's send the Grinning Ravens along with our banner mission. That includes Zaya Malovna and Karoj Dewa, both of whom have been played before, which is neat. And let's send the Ember Wolves. It's not necessarily in that squad's nature to be sneaky, but I think it would be cool to send them along. They have a full roster. And yeah, we haven't seen them in a while. Let's send them along with the Scarlet Dancing Glade.
Cool. All right, so we got 5 characters. We got 2 rookies from the Ravens. We got Silver Surging Flood, Langry Farah, and our sniper. We've got Langry Farah, our heavy, and we got Raya Arani, our medic. And normally the marshal assigns who gets to play who, but I think you've been kind enough to like let everyone else pick. So.
Oh yeah. The only other thing is commanding. Since there's no officer on this mission, we would want to say who is the ranking officer on this mission. And unless there's any objections, I'd say Landgrave Farah makes sense as the HBIC on this mission.
Hell yeah! All right, so who's playing who?
So I wouldn't mind playing Farah again, but I also wouldn't mind playing the rookie or the medic. I like doing all of those. So
I'm happy doing yeah. I'm just gonna say I'm happy doing a rookie because I'm a rookie and I know that role really well.
Do you want to take the rookie that already has a filled out sheet, so you don't have to create a character from scratch? Because one of the other rookie is named, but I don't think they've been played. We just gave them a name, so they don't have a sheet yet. But that's up to you, Patrick. Do you want to create a character, or do you want one that's already made?
Where's the rookie that's already made? What's his name?
Under Grinning Ravens, it's Zaya.
Okay. Zaya. See if I like Zaya. Wow, so the red means she's already stressed out to that point?
Yeah, 1 box.
She only got. She has 1. Oh, okay.
1 out of 6, so she's still 5.
Oh, I'm looking at Rhea. I'm sorry, Zaya. Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, Zaya should be under. Oh, hold on. Let me see.
No, I got it. I'm good. I'm good. Yep. All right. Zaya.
Yeah, Raya does have a lot of stress. The medic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll play Zaya. She looks great.
Oh yeah. She's the not bloodthirsty, but she did stab a knight, and then because she's a Zemyari, she's got that blood riddle. She did tip her hand in that guy's wound.
Oh, cool. All right.
Are you down for that?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you got Zaya. What about Matt? Are you sticking with Flood?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's been pretty reliable for me, so I'll stick around with it.
You did say you were building them up to be able to take on a broken. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, I'll say right now, broken are threat 5. So the amount of maths you have to do to get up to being able to even like have limited effect on it. I know you got that bullet. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, I know you're working your way up there. All right. Cool. So yeah, Chris and Dan, who are you?
Well, I guess I'll lean towards doing Farah unless Dan really wants to jump into that.
I'm cool. I'm happy to play. Raya. I believe that she will probably get traumatized, and I'll get to move over to a rookie at some point.
You've got 2 boxes. You can take 1 trauma.
We'll see.
That means an extra XP trigger. It's fine. Oh, it actually does it. I forget. Band of Blades is quite different from Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it gets you more XP. Still, okay, cool. So everyone's got their roles. Let's go to the engagement role, Marshall.
Oh, let's see. Okay, our engagement role. Everyone on this mission is oath sworn to the Legion, so that's 1 die. Commander, would you like to spend 1 intel to give us foresight and information?
I'll spend 1 of our intel on this, and I'll spend 1 on the other mission.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Not everyone on the mission is a specialist or soldier, so we don't get a die for that. Does any Legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders on the battlefield? Now, our officer isn't on this mission, and I think he took the brunt of the concern from our Legion.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, I mean, Farah might have kind of the have that sort of like bit of superstitious, air of trouble about her after that last mission. But I don't know of anybody that would immediately distrust her about it. That not yet, anyway.
Right. This may be what moves that needle one way or the other.
Oh yeah, Farah, don't forget you have 4 XP. Yeah, to spend.
And we do have our required specialists and theoretically equipment on this mission. It's not an assault mission. It is a supply mission. Recon. Legend supply. There we are. And Quartermaster, would you like to spend food to equip the mission?
Sure, I'll spend 1 food, and then I'm also going to spend a black shot to give us all black shot.
Oh, sweet.
So just explain to Patrick, black shot is like the in-universe sort of like alchemical creation that gives you increased effect against undead. So that's 3. So mark black shot on your, if you see down at the bottom, the load, there is 2 boxes for black shot under utility. You can mark those because our quartermaster is kind enough to give you all black shot. Oh yeah, everyone should mark load as well, what gear they're bringing.
Final question, is the current pressure higher than 2? Oh, you're muted, Chris.
It's not higher than 2 right now. It's
Sweet.
at 2.
Okay.
Okay, so before you roll, I should explain load for Patrick. So load is like the items you have. You've got light, normal, and heavy. Whichever level you pick, you get everything, also including the level underneath that. That determines basically how maneuverable and what kind of load you have will determine like effect and position, like how maneuverable you are. If you're trying to be sneaky while you're heavy and whatnot, it could affect your effectiveness. And also you have 2 utility. So you can pick 2 of those things, basically any 2 boxes. Oh, you click the 2 boxes next to black shot, not the circle ones. The boxes means you've equipped those. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you like a minute or 2 to pick your load before we roll this 3 dice engagement roll. Oh wow, Zaya's. Oh yeah, she stabs one knight and manages to like block a pike that stabs her through the side, and suddenly she's oh yeah, I'm gonna carry all the weapons. Makes sense.
So wait, there's no penalty for a heavy load this time, right?
That is correct as far as I can tell.
Okay. Maybe not.
All right. I think everyone's picked their load. Let's see.
Do I need to pick? Is there anything? No, I've picked heavy, but do I need to the sub selections under normal?
Let me double check. I don't think so. Let me see. No, you under normal. Oh yeah. I guess you can either pick either tent or camping gear or cooking kit.
Yeah.
And fresh food.
Mm.
Also, everyone should click supplies as well. Supplies basically just generic. Hey, I need rope, or hey, I need something else, because part of equipping food is like get supplies.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, so which items were we automatically equipped with? Black shot and what else?
Supplies.
Supplies. Okay.
Actually, double check. Okay, supplies are like dry food packed for travel, not really appetizing unless cooked. One use feeds a legionnaire for a day. I think supplies are for like long-term missions. I haven't flung any long-term missions at you yet, but could happen. Let's say like this dig site is a bit of a ways away, for sure. They'll necessitate supplies. But hey, 3 dice. It's pretty good. All right, should we roll this engagement roll?
Sounds good.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Under utility, it says choose a 2 load below. Do I add an additional 2, or do I just stick with supplies and black shot?
Oh, you get an additional 2 because supplies and black shot was given to you by the quartermaster. You get those for free.
All right, and then under heavy, it says armor and shield. Do I also click armor here and shield here?
No, you
Under
just have
utility?
armor. Oh, no, you don't have to.
That's if you use them, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm taking them with me, I do need to select armor and shield.
No, that's where if you want to use extra. I guess if you use extra armor, you're.
Well, it's for like you mean over by the harm. Is that what you're talking about?
Well,
Patrick?
under my load, I have heavy, and then that has armor and shield under it in the box.
Oh, okay.
And then under utility, it also has armor and shield. I don't know if I'm supposed to select both of those or
Utility are items you can bring like anytime.
extra. Okay,
Yeah, extra.
got it.
Since you pick heavy, we can just assume you have an armor and a shield. You don't have to.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's do this, Marshall. 3
All
dice.
right.
Wow.
Is it 3 ones?
No, it's a 5, a 6, and a 6. That's a critical. 2 6. Wait, can you do critical engagement? I don't think you can, but like, still
Oh, you
2.
can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Ah, fucking hell. All right. Maybe you should save this for the secondary mission. Okay. All right. So, you on a critical, just 2 6s. You've overcome the first obstacle and are in a controlled position. So I'm okay. So I think you've all set off towards this dig site, and it is like, it is kind of like on the edge of where the forest meets the mountain. So it's kind of like over. Let me move this sword. In the roll 20, somewhere around here ish. And I think, yeah, since the mood in the Legion's like, we can't mess this up. We're getting the banner. It's kind of like our original symbol, and we've messed up in the previous mission. So I guess everyone just like very professional and just kind of like going through, well, not going through the motions, but like just being very like together. I want to get like a quick snapshot as people are going through the brush through this forest. I want to get a quick snapshot of each character as they're making their way towards this dig site. Like kind of like what they look like, what their demeanor is, what are they thinking. I'll start with our heavy, our Landgrave Farah, who we're finally seeing in the camera for the first time in a while.
Oh, she is. She went heavy gear this time, so she is like your fully kitted out heavy. She's got like she's carrying a tower shield, a fully fleshed out suit of armor, and a big that big honking like bastard sword that she had in the first mission. She's bringing that back into service, and she's just trudging through, trying to be as quiet as she can, but like there's only so quiet you can be with that stuff on. So, and I think she's probably taking point in the main body. Flood might be scouting ahead. In fact, that's probably what he that's his usual bent, and Farah would have encouraged him to do that. So I'm guessing like maybe Flood is sort of scouting in a range ahead to kind of give us an idea of what's ahead of us, and Farah's leading the main body of Raya and the rookies, kind of pulling up after that.
Cool. Speaking of Flood, what do we see of him on the way to the dig site?
Yeah, I think when Farah issues the order to him, he like nods and then he like gives her a look to be like we got this. Like I know that last mission, like a lot is contained in that one look, you know, and it's sort of, you know, it's like I know it was the officer's fault, but you better have my back out here, kind of thing. And also like, okay, I'm following orders here. And he sort of breaks off as he often does, and is sort of like, you know, he's a hunter by trade, right? So he's just like very quickly moving through, and he sort of disappears because of the sort of camouflage she's always wearing.
How about our erstwhile medic, Raya, who's quite a bit stressed?
Oh yeah, she is stressed. Panning to the side of Landgrave Farah, who is decked out in all of her heavy gear, but is trudging along. We see Raya, who is decked out in probably half as much physical gear, but is just sweating. It is so heavy. This is more than she has ever carried. But she's trying to keep up a whispered, small conversation with the heavy, saying, "Look, we almost lost you on that last mission, and I want to give you this before we get too deep into territory." And she has in one of her many little pouches a little a charm that she's fashioned. She says, "This is a traditional charm. This is made to keep you safe because you have been keeping us safe all this time, and I don't expect that to become any different. Here, this is completely inappropriate. I'll fall back to the rear. All right."
Aww.
And I think Farah takes it and basically like tucks it inside the armor into one of the utility, you know, pouches that are inside the main body of her armor, and nods. Doesn't actually like, you know, change expression or anything because there are rookies back there, but nods and trudges along.
Cool. So speaking of the rookies, I think we described Karaj, the other one, as a stoic Barton. They look professional. Look ready. What about Zaya? How does she look?
Zaya's pumped. She's hanging out with the other rookie, sharing some of the fresh food that she's brought along with her, just sharing the excitement. But she's also looking at Landgrave. I think that she's kind of seeing her as like a bit of a role model. They're both wearing heavy. They're both, getting psyched for battle. She will never, like, at this point, feel like she can go up and talk to her, but like is watching every move she makes, who she's talking to. She's just like completely engrossed in Landgrave when she's not like chumming it up with the other rookies.
Hell yeah. Probably Karaj is a bit put off by this. How can you be so excited? We're going off to fight against an infamous undead. But he's keeping it mum. He's stoic. That's his one trait. He's stoic. All right. So I think you fan out in the forest, and I think part of why this is a critical, Jesus Christ, and you get past the first obstacle. So what this looks like is like I think before you left, someone who had been working at the dig site, who managed to escape before Render's troops descended, told you of how she and a bunch of other folks managed to escape the dig site. They managed to chisel out a tunnel through the side of the mountain. There's like the entrance, and Flood can see from afar. It's crawling with undead. There's like just squads kind of like shambling about, poking out the trees out into the entrance of the dig site. But y'all know there's another way through. So I think it's to the side. It's a bit small. It's a bit cramped. Y'all are heavy. Some of y'all are decked in armor, but you squeeze through, and like that brings you out to like this main chamber. But the thing is, people probably thought, oh, ancient ruins, tall, tall ceilings carved into the mountain. No, it's a fairly decent cave. It's a fairly big cave that, like, because it's the Legion. Because this is like a former Legion encampment, so it's not grandiose. It's a military encampment, so it's a big cave that may have been carved out a bit. You see some rotting emplacements. You see like a lot of like new dig material. There's some like crates because it's a dig site. There has to be crates. Who knows what's in them? There are some down tools, and I think you gotten past the first couple of chambers where there's a bunch of undead, and I think you're at kind of like the heart of the dig site. And there are some like in the ceiling. There's like some holes carved out into let in some sun, so there's like just like shafts of sunlight into this like fairly spacious like opening. And I think when you come out, you're kind of like behind these like scaffolding where folks have been like looking through the cave thinking, oh, we'll find some like, I don't know, ritual drawings or whatnot. Nope, they didn't. More cave. It's just more cave. And I think when you pop into the chamber behind the scaffolding, you hear this whimpering to your right, and you hear another different voice whimper, and then a third one, and then suddenly it's like a chorus that's all coming together. It's like how when an orchestra warms up, they all play their instruments at the same time, but here it's like 100 dying breaths, and there's you can see there's like a smaller like sort of antechamber towards your right, and you can see like it. You can tell from like old from when the Lord Keeper has bored you all talking about old Legion history. This is what they used to do when they had caves. They have the commander's cave, so to speak, and not slumped, but like sitting like legs splayed out in front of it. It's like this pale. Hold on, let me double check. This pale, tall, lanky person. Eyes sewn shut, lips ripped off, teeth filed to the points. There's chains kind of like embedded in its throat, and it's kind of like lolling its mouth open as the dying breaths it's caught just tumble out of its mouth. And I think you can see barely in the behind the commander in the commander's cave. You can see like a scrap of fabric behind this thing. So you're in a control position right now. There's only one thing between you and the banner. And I'm going to create an 8-step clock. See, this is what I got wrong when you fought the doctor. Did not make any clocks. Not going to make that mistake this time. This is to defeat Eater, as in like to kill him. But remember your objective. Your objective is to grab that is to get that banner. Don't have to fight him, but I mean, nice. But you have one less Infamous to deal with. Just make that clock.
And is he threat level 3 or
Yes.
2? Okay, it's 3.
Is 3 worse than 2? Which way does the scale go?
Oh yeah, it goes up. So yeah, it's worse than 2. For starters, you all are at threat level 1. All right. What do you do?
Okay, and so Eater's basically sitting right in front of, or right just to the side of the cave.
Yeah, they're sitting like their ass on the ground, their legs kind of splayed out, arms kind of like just going there. They're kind of like just lolling because their eyes are sewn shut. They can't see anything. But it's almost like an attack dog has just been left out there, and they're trying to look playful. But dogs can look playful. Eater can't. right.
Otherwise unaccompanied, just him,
Just
or
him.
just them. Yeah.
Yeah, just them. Yeah.
Hmm.
So what do? You're in a controlled position.
I have a suggestion here to try and set something up, and Farah leans over to Flood and says, we may have the drop on him, but we don't know what his full capabilities are. This seems like a situation where it might be good for us to draw him off, and Raya and the rookies grab the banner and see if we can get back out through that passage. And I have a wrecking kit that I would like to use and think we could use
Mm-hmm.
to basically set up a targeted cave-in in here once we've got that banner, and basically drop this whole freaking cave on him.
That is quite feasible. All right, so I'm gonna go through. I know y'all done this, but I'm gonna go through how you build an action roll for Patrick's sake. So first, I'll ask the player, what action rating are you gonna roll with?
Okay, I think at this stage I'm sort of laying things out, and I'm guessing that this would either the setup for this would either be rig or wreck. Which
Yes.
It sounds closer to wreck, I think.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I'm on the same line. So yeah, wreck. So then, player tells me what the action they're rolling, and I'll tell you the position and effect. Position goes from controlled to risky to desperate. Basically, that tells me how bad things go if you get a mixed success. Controlled, it's fine. Desperate, oh buddy. Risky is usually the average, but you start in a control position because 2 sixes on engagement.
Okay, now here's the thing. For this wrecking, I have a fine wrecking kit as part of my heavy load.
Yes, that would affect your effect. I need to stop saying that. So your position is controlled. Effect is again how effective the attack is going to be. So it goes from limited to standard to great. Right? I was thinking now, if you didn't have the wrecking kit and you're just smashing things, it would have been standard. Since you have the wrecking kit, that's great effect. And usually mechanically, that tells you how many ticks you add to like a clock to like finish it up. So great effect would be, well, it would be like 3. Yeah, it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 for sure. But it's 3 is better than 2 in this case. So yes, it will be controlled great with your fine wrecking kit. Now, before we make the roll, ask 2 things. Do you want to push yourself, which is spend 2 stress, or take a devil's bargain, which is I'm going to introduce a complication. Either of those will get you an extra die.
Okay. And could either Flood or Raya toss me some assistance on this one to get this set up?
I think Raya could. She's got some ability in rig, which I know isn't wreck, but it almost sounds like there's a confluence of the two in what we're trying to accomplish.
The thing is that you can assist how you just tell me how to assist, and it'll be fine. But you will have to spend 1 stress. That's another way to get dice. Is player can assist you. They're going to spend 1 stress, and they give you an extra die, or improved effect. But you don't need more effect here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Flood might be able to do like a setup action, which is to like scout ahead into the tunnels, find the right tunnel first, and then and then figure out like how we're gonna lure the eater in.
Normally I'll be fine with that, but the thing is, Farah's already at controlled great. Setup action doesn't give them an extra dice; it improves their effect. I mean, if you want to go to extreme effect, sure, but you might want to because setup action is another roll. You might not want to risk. You might want to risk it. I just saw you snowing outside your window, Matt. I'm a bit distracted. There's snow there. Yeah. So I normally be fine with that, but Pharaoh's already in a very good position.
That's right. I forgot that it doesn't give an extra die. It's just increased effect. So if we think we're pretty good, then maybe I'll save my action for later.
Okay, so that means right now I've got a rig of 1, and I'm getting assistance from Raya, so that gives me a 2 dice to roll, correct?
Yes. And you're going to wreck, right?
Yes, wreck. Sorry, 1 die in wreck.
Yes, cool. So yeah. Rolling dice is a bit of negotiation in Forge in the Dark, but usually some powerful effects.
Okay. What would the Devil's Bargain be?
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So Devil's Bargain is like, a complication will happen. You'll get an extra die, but there is something that will happen, and I think Devil's Bargain here is like you're setting up. This will be simple. I'll give you a simple. I think because you're heavy and you're clinking around, I'm gonna start a 4-step clock. Not filling anything. I'm gonna start a 4-step clock called attention, which is basically for any misses or failures you get. If that clock fills up, you're gonna bring in some more undead here. For now, you've got Eater alone, but yeah, if you take that Devil's Bargain, you get an extra die. But I get to start that clock. You're muted, I think, Chris. I can't hear you.
I'm thinking of taking that Devil's Bargain.
Hell yeah! So you got 3 dice.
All right.
Control grid.
Okay.
Let me start that clock.
Yes. 6.
Hell yeah!
I'm glad I took that Devil's Bargain.
Nice. All right. So yeah, describe to me how you're setting up these explosives, or however. Tell me how you're setting this up.
I think what we're doing here is to get Eaters right now right outside the thing where we need to get into, and what we want to do is basically lure them into a spot where we can do a targeted explosion that will set them up to be taken out by the cave-in.
Hell yeah! I think.
So we're like all of us under Farrah's direction are sort of setting up these charges at various points in the room to kind of herd Eater in a particular direction, and then once it gets them to, and that will hopefully like lead them into a particular spot or into a particular one of the smaller offshoot tunnels, and then collapse that on them. So like you've got a few like little noisemaker type explosions, like basically the equivalent of pop rocks, like little small like pop crack things to draw Eater's attention. And then the last one of those goes off like inside that this little side tunnel we've selected. And after that, we have it set up to basically collapse the tunnel onto Eater.
Nice.
And hopefully put them, either take them out entirely if we're extremely lucky, or at least put them in a significantly compromised position so that we can finish them off, or hold them long enough for us to get the hell away.
All right, so I'm gonna put 3 ticks into that Eater clock. I think you have it all set up. It's all good. It's gonna be all good. It's just you need someone to actually like draw them towards this. You got the little pop rocks, but I think because someone will probably need to set them off so that to grab their attention. So who's volunteering to do that?
Farrah will volunteer to do that. Because
Ooh.
Farrah, from her perspective, she is the one who's probably most able to take a few hits. She heavy kitted just for that specific purpose. And
Hold up. What if? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, Chris.
Oh no, go ahead. What?
I was gonna say, Farrah is also the least quick, to get away. I wonder if like we could set it up so that if a shot was fired into it, it could set it off.
I think we could. I think we'd like you mean the final explosion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. We can set that off remotely. Like we could fire a black shot in there, or just fire a regular bullet at it to set off that last one. So maybe like Farah would sort of lead him along with the pop rocks, and then basically once we've gotten him in there, Farah could get out of the way, and hopefully Flood could set that last charge off with a bullet. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean,
Okay.
as long as everybody else is good with that.
And I would really like Raya and the rookies to make once we get Eater out of the way, make a play for the banner.
That makes sense.
All right, so let's do this one move from Farah, and then we're gonna cut to see if it's successful, and then we'll cut to the rookies and Raya and the rookies. That's like
Okay. Now we're still in control position, right?
yes.
Okay.
As far as Eater's concerned, they're still good, like in front of the commander chamber.
Okay. I think Farah will move to the first of those little of this trail that we've set up,
Mm-hmm.
and she will set that one off to start to draw Eater in that direction.
Hell yeah. What are you rolling with this?
Oh gosh. Would this be maneuver, rig? Which do you think might be the more appropriate?
I'll say right now, if it's maneuver, it'll be a bit limited because you're full of armor.
Yeah.
Not full, but you're covered in armor. You didn't eat all that armor, no.
Oh yeah. But no. It could either. I mean,
we could say you've rigged it to like, so you have a way to set it off. But like, if it's maneuver, if it's about you moving, then it's going to be limited effect.
Okay, maybe we've sort of set it up to where we can sort of set it off at least a little farther away. Like I don't have to basically run along this track. Let's say somebody has to be relatively close to it to set it off.
Hell yeah.
And I think she's been and she thinks if it comes down to Eater catching up to whoever it is, she thinks she's more in a better place to take a couple of hits than anybody else is.
Good luck. Yeah, so say let's rig, that'll be standard.
Okay. So controlled standard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up on dice. Anyone want to help out?
Let's see.
Go ahead, Sai. Yeah, so you unmute there, Patrick.
Well, I was thinking, I think just from a role-playing perspective, Zaya is very interested in supporting Farah somehow, and almost feels compelled to like volunteer to be with her on this because she is also heavy. They're going to be moving at the same pace. She feels like she could be another axe and shield if necessary, but she's volunteering it to Farah to do that, and it's up to Farah if she wants to have the rookie baggage alone.
What do you think, Farah?
Oh, I think Farah would state it like this: you're not going to be like in the thick of it with her because you're still not in a position to take as many hits as she is if Eater gets close. But if you want to hang back and maybe offer a few, once Eater gets a little too close, maybe offer a few like distracting shots, like maybe a thrown axe or a dagger just to get its attention. Once that starts happening, Farah thinks that would be a good idea. Just she tells you basically be poised to retreat when we get this thing where we need it to be, because after that things are going to start falling down, big heavy things, and we don't want to be under them.
Zara's pumped up by that opportunity to throw things, and she's ready. She's ready.
All right, Zaya, take one stress, and Farah gets an extra die.
Okay.
Oh,
that'll give me 2 dice, and I really want this to work. So I'm going to push myself. So that'll give me 3 dice to roll on this, and I'm rolling with rig. So controlled, standard, and 2 bonus die.
Oh my!
Oh yes! Oh yes.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Let's see. What the? Should we just play out every mission? Because this is just gonna happen. Like, I was thinking, like, all right, big banner, big threat. No, it's just controlled sixes, 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 sixes. I shouldn't be complaining. Oh my god.
So how many clicks do I fill up on a critical?
It's hold on. I actually need to look at that because god. Well, it's critical. Oh, Jesus.
But it's standard
All right,
effect.
hold on.
So
Yeah, it's standard effect, but still controlled. Oh, you do it with increased effect on a controlled critical. So it goes up to great. So that's 3 more ticks. Oh my god. Y'all keep equipping stuff thinking it's gonna be a slog. It's gonna be like a heavy fight. But no, y'all just play smart and nice and play nice. I shouldn't be complaining. No, you get your successes. So I want Farah and like Zaya to like collaborate on how you start setting these things, how you draw either way, and then I'm gonna cut to Raya, who's leading with the other rookie. So
let's see.
Farah and Zaya.
Well, see, I'll sort of start things out, and then Zaya. I mean, you fill in how you're peppering Eater with the continual distractions. And I think what's happening with Farah is basically she's trudging, like sort of crab walking, like hitting these things and making sure she's still got an eye on Eater, because I'm presuming that Eater is sort of like can't see, so he's having to follow noise. Is that kind of how it looks to us when he gets up and starts coming along this track?
Yeah, he's searching a noise and so like, well, it doesn't sound like that because they sound like dying whimpers or something like.
Yeah, just like a really creepy noise.
Yeah,
and
I think the way they stand up is like they're on their butt, so they lie back down and their legs kind of like bend, and then they just kind of like stand up like things shouldn't stand up like that. And they start kind of like not limping, but like just doing this weird half stepping motion,
like some sort of like a ragdoll animation type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So as it's coming, like we hit another one and it stumbles closer, and I think Farah is like I said, she's crab walking back, and every time maybe it starts to speed up or get a little closer, maybe Zaya like hits it with something that like makes it pause and distract, and that gives Farah a chance to move a little bit further along. And so we're stringing Eater along like that all the way across to where this little side cavern is.
Cool. All right. And as Flood is in position to set off the last one with the pistol. So I cut to Raya. Raya, you and Karaj see this. This is like I don't know how many times are you ever gonna get tired of seeing your squad like pull off a successful distraction and to let you do your stuff.
No, this is the best. This is great. And Raya sort of turns to Karaj Deva and gives a nod. And I see we're sort of on an overlook. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I'll say like it's a fairly big enough place. Like it was kind of an overlook, and I think Farah, Zaya, and Flood have gone down to like draw either way. But like it's gone from its position. The commander's cave is right there.
All right. I think Karaj and Raya have sort of set up a rope and begin to rappel down to delve into this little tunnel to, I guess, pick up this banner where we believe the banner to be.
Cool. All right. So, what are you gonna roll with it?
I hate to say it because I did take a heavy load, but I think it's got to be maneuver. I don't see any other reasonable roll.
Yeah, there's a lot of maneuvering in this legion. That's fair. You're still in a control position. I will say it is it is limited if it's maneuver because you took heavy. I know. I see. Chris was proposing rig, but I think you will have to walk. You have to get there to the cave, and maneuver sounds great. But yeah, it is limited.
Okay.
you got one dice. Can't really push yourself, can you?
No, can't push myself right now. I could hear a devil's bargain if you have one off the top of your head.
2 ticks on that undead attention clock.
Hmm.
You'll be fine. Come on. Look at all those rolls y'all are making.
Yeah, we're doing great. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Does anyone want to assist? I don't think anyone can assist right now. They're busy. Y'all are busy with Eater.
Right.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that devil's bargain.
Okay. I'll fill that clock. 2 dice. It's the worst. I love how this rig thing is just like, it's like sunlight. All right, that's the 5. It's a success.
Hey.
Here's what happens. Let's see. On a controlled 5. Okay, here's what happens. On a 4 to 5, you hesitate. Withdraw and try a different approach, or else do it with a minor consequence. Here's what you see. You and Karaj make it to like the cave. And I think Karaj, like, because seeing like, oh, this is going really well. This is going amazingly well. I think some of their stoicness kind of like breaks, and they kind of like dash forward a bit faster than you. Because I'd say right now they probably took normal, not heavy. If we're thinking of them as a player. And let me double check something. Yes, here we go. They walk in, and a fissure opens up beneath them. It's a small one. It's not something you can fall in, but like out spews this horrific green mist, like this fume, and it catches them in the face, and you can see that like it's kind of like it's. Actually, no, just catch them in the face. Catch them in the neck. So you can see like there's like a burn towards them, and so that's a minor complication. But he takes it for you, for sure. And he's kind of like, he just stumbles back. It's burning. He's trying very hard not to like shout or anything, to draw attention. Or I think he kind of does. He lets out a big and that's what the two ticks for undead attention is from. Why this happened, the other ability I took is that Blighter has corrupted the land, and these things happen now. Just poison fumes, fissures, sort of like landmines. So yeah, watch out for those now in the future. But yeah, I mean, nothing happened to you, Raya, I guess. But I think the rookie is gonna, whenever you're playing, he's gonna have a couple ticks on corruption, for sure, and a level 1 harm.
Now, it was my New Year's resolution to gain at least 1 trauma. Can I resist this consequence?
Of course you can.
All right.
What was? Okay, that sure is a New Year's resolution. All right. This is going to be with prowess.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
And no bonus dice?
Yeah, I don't think you have any bonus dice.
All right. That's a couple of 3s. So Raya is traumatized.
Okay. All right. How do you resist? How do you like prevent this? What does it look like?
I think as the earth begins to move, Raya sort of pushes the rookie out of the area that seems to be separating, and basically tackles him out of the way. The sort of classic shot, get them out of the way of a speeding car kind of thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if she took a fair blast of that superheated gas.
Yeah, I think you probably missed, like, this is not how gas works, but like the initial burst is probably the most poisonous bit, because I'm not gonna make you take corruption as well. But I think, yeah, you get like enough of the whiff of the fumes, and like that kind of like you kind of like pass out in poor Carriage's arms, and they can't just leave you there, so they have to drag you as they get the banner. And I think the other 3, Flood especially, because you have very keen eyesight, you see this from behind, like Eater, as you see this happen. Oh, to explain to Patrick how resistant rolls are. Basically, whenever a complication happens, you can always say, nah, that doesn't happen. That don't happen. And it won't happen. and the complication is nullified, and then you roll a resistance roll, and you see how much stress you take to nullify the complication. So what Raya rolled was her prowess attributes, which is basically 2 dice because she has 1 in skirmish and 1 in maneuver, and you take 6 stress minus the highest. And she rolled 3, so she got 3. But if you take 6, once you reach your limit of 6, you trauma, you get a trauma, which means you get knocked out of the scene. So, yeah. So that's resistance is a tool for yourself. So okay, I think, yeah, you see the Karaj, just brave, poor stoic Karaj. You see he's getting a bit panicky, but he's got Raya slung one arm on one arm, like kind of dragging him, and the other hand is like the rolled up flag. Flood, you see this right behind us as Eater's kind of like being put in position. You're still in a control position as far as you know. No, you're still in a control position. I would have said deliberately if you're in a risky position, but yeah. Go on, Flood.
All right. So I'm guessing there's like a sort of detonator charge that will like kind of detonate and fan out to the other charges in the tunnel. I'm guessing it's against a back wall, sort of way far down. And I think he's already lined up. The shot is already, he's been sitting there lining it up while all of this has been going down. He's just trained on it, like unblinking, waiting for them to like step out the cave. And as soon as they do, he takes the shot. So I'm going to spend, let's see. So this is like a shoot roll. And I'm going to spend some aim, but I'm trying to figure out like what's our position in effect? We're controlled and
yeah, it's controlled, and I would say standard right now. Like it's controlled standard, but if you spend 1 aim, it'll be controlled great. Either way, it'll be enough to like defeat Eater here right now. But it probably won't kill them because it's just like a cave in, but like it'll be enough to defeat them, and I think you'll be able to accomplish this mission. It's not always like this, Patrick. Sometimes things happen. It's not always this smooth. I'm not.
So if I spend 2 uses of aim, can I have it so that it takes Eater out?
Oh,
my thought. Here's my thought.
Mhm.
I can spend up to 3 because I've invested a lot in it, and my thought is maybe it can be like a trick shot that like ricochets off and hits another charge or something.
Okay, all right. If it's
Or
great
maybe
effect,
it takes a couple.
but if it's going to be extreme effect, which is beyond great, yeah, sure. If you want to kill it, okay, yes, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I have more Infamous. It's all right. No, look, I'll say right now, most of me kvetching is play acting. I'm down with this. Trick shot, take him out. Sure, I'm not precious about him. We can create more Infamous. Yeah, hell yeah. All right. You have aim to spend, so.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna spend it all, and I'll push myself on the roll.
Jesus Christ.
So
That's 4 dice.
it's controlled.
Zaya, you want to help?
I think it kind of does make sense to help.
Fine. How is Zaya helping?
Well, I was thinking like just helping out with another loose shot or distracting Eater and seeing if that helps get him in position into the right place.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I saw Chris, you unmute there. It's like, yeah, it would make sense for Farah to help out as well, but Zaya being the one enthusiastic.
Reckless. She just wants to help. She just wants to help.
So that's take one more stress, Zaya. That's 5 dice.
Let's do it.
All right.
Joseph, controlled extreme. Oh, come on! That's still a success. It's still a success.
Still a success.
4, but wow. Thank God for that assist.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
My 4. That was Zaya's 4.
Yeah. Oh, and for those watching, Flood rolled a 2, a 3, a 2, a 2, and a 4. Oh my God. I mean, it was controlled, but still wouldn't have been the worst. Anyway, so I think, okay, here's what happens. Okay, no, it's still a success. So, and it's still extreme effect. So tell me what it looks like. All of you can collaborate as like all these charges set off.
Yeah. So, I think Flood's shot, like the eater turns at the last second and it can't see, but it can like hear like the shot fired, and it like turns and it thinks it's being shot at, right? But actually it just whizzes past him and hits off one charge and ricochets and hits off another one.
Ooh.
And I'll leave. I think so. Chris set up the charges, so I'll leave Chris to describe the explosions.
Okay. What I was thinking is basically the big thing is basically rigged up to the roof, about maybe midway into that little side cavern. And at that point, like Eater, when we set off the charge, Eater had gotten a good portion of the ways in there. And I think the shot that caused him to turn around was the one that they hit first is like one of the leading charges that kind of draws his attention back, like it hits and it's pop, and then he swings his head back around and maybe moves forward a little bit more, and that draws him closer into the main charge, and the ricochet hits off the main charge. And so as soon as Eater like turns back and starts to lean forward, the main charge goes off, and that sets off the cascade of the other charges along the roof and of that little offshoot cavern, and all the roof of that cavern just sort of collapses down on top of him.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna ask Zaya. You complete the mission. You've destroyed Eater, but here's the complication. I'm gonna throw at Flood. As this kind of happened, I think Eater the eyes are stitched shut, but they turn towards your direction, Flood, and then it opens its mouth, and then you hear a lot of horrible, dying, familiar voices of people you've known in the Legion just go, Flood, Flood, Flood. And this is a level 1 harm. Feel free to resist that if you want. But go ahead, Farah.
I've got anchor. I'd like to resist that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, actually, this you don't have to use anchor. This is called protect. There is a way to protect. Basically, anyone can jump in and take on someone's complication that's hitting them. You can also choose to resist as well, because what anchor does is let you fight as a small group. That kind of increases your effect.
He has a special ability though that lets him use it as special armor against consequence.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All right.
So,
cool.
So basically, anchor. I just spend that point of anchor, and that just don't happen. I don't need to roll for it. Is my understanding anchor correctly? That's the way it seems to read with the bull walking move.
Yes, yeah, because special armor is like it's not actual armor. It's just like something more indistinct. But yeah, I think probably before it could say all that, flood stuff. Probably like I don't know. What do you do, Farrah, to get Flood's attention so that he doesn't know?
I think as the explosions are going off and like maybe that's about to happen, I think Farah turns back around and like points to Flood and then points to the exit.
Is that okay with you, Flood?
Yeah, I think just sort of there's been some like redemption here for Farah, maybe, and like she just like totally like just like executed on this mission, and Flood's just like assents and like turns without any question and turns towards the exit. And maybe we hear like the whispers in the background as he's like walking out the exit, but or like I guess he's kind of probably hurrying out of the exit, but he doesn't quite. It's like he like hears them for just a second, and he's like, "What was that?" And then just keeps going, you know.
Zaya, I've got a funny thing for you. Karaj probably has run towards you, carrying Raya and the flag. Which one? He's kind of like offering for you to like. He's clearly offering for you to take Raya off his hands. But do you go for Raya or the flag?
I think I actually go for Raya. I would love to be like a bit of a glory hound, but I think my Zamyati traits are more about working with the group, supporting the team, being loyal. So that kind of like I desperately would love to hold the flag, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with my roots.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And Raya, you're unconscious. I'm sorry. Got taken a bit. All right, cool. So, Jesus Christ, another textbook successful mission from the goddamn Legion. Mission rewards don't apply until we finish up the secondary mission, but let's tally up XP. So I'm gonna do that because I love doing that. Sorry, it was meant to be the marshal's job, but I like doing this. So everyone gets 1 XP, and for Patrick, you have like 4 XP trackers on your sheet. There's the playbook one, and there's 5 trackers. Think about it. Yeah, there's the playbook one. There's insight, prowess, resolve, and specialist. Basically, if any of those, when your playbook one fills up, you get a new ability. If any of the attribute ones fill up, you get an extra dot under that category. That includes specialist stuff as well. So everyone gets 1 XP if you survive the mission. Did. So that's 1. If any of you brought into play your heritage or trauma, basically if you've used any of your traits, even if you describe them, like what Patrick did with Zaya, if they came into play, so you get 1 XP. Also, you get XP per highest threat of opponent faced. Ether was 3, so you get 3 XP. So it's 5 in total. Well, it depends on whether you played heritage, trauma, or not. And then there's a specific XP for each playbook. So, Silver Surging Flood, did you help your squad through keen observation or key shots? Gee, I wonder.
Yeah, I mean that's like basically all I did. So
you do it so well. I feel sound so sheepish about it.
I mean, I guess that's the idea of a sniper is to sniper shoot things. So yeah,
you're doing well. You're doing great. Okay, so that's what Landgrave Farah. Did you help your squad through might or fortitude?
Actually, I don't think I did. I think this was more like me rigging stuff and blowing shit up. So I don't think she didn't like bludgeon anything in submission or take a hit or anything for anybody. So
you basically played an officer in this.
Yeah. If I may, though, she did step up to lure it took fortitude to step up and lure it's Eater, right? Eater into a cave that was about to explode. I don't know. I think that takes fortitude, bravery.
I'm always down for greasing the odds to give y'all XP. So I'm fine. I'd be fine with that. Take the XP. Raya, poor Raya. For one thing, there's the list of traumas are there. You don't have to pick one now. Basically, it's something that has affected your character. It's going to affect your character from here on in. And if you play into any of those, which usually means make trouble because of your trauma, you get XP for that. But
Sweet. Does my stress counter go
it goes down.
refresh? Okay.
Refreshes, yes. Cool. Did you help your squad through medical knowledge or emotional comfort?
No, I didn't.
We need to. I guess no. It was more like quick thinking, stepping in the. Matt, you make the
Sorry,
case.
I have another case. You gave the little piece of the relic to Feyre at the beginning.
Yes.
It didn't explicitly like help a roll or anything, but like
Emotional.
it was explicitly emotional comfort there. Wasn't it?
Sure. I was going for playing up my heritage, but I can definitely go with.
You can do both.
Yeah, I can definitely go with. I can double dip. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, take the XP. And finally, our dear rookie Zaya. So eager. So effective, honestly. Zaya's effectiveness continues. Did you help your squad by staying out of the way or surviving despite the odds?
I did survive. I didn't stay out of the way, but I did survive.
Yeah, against all odds. Jesus Christ. I'm going to keep stacking odds. So take the XP. All right. So, all right. You know what? We have a bit of time. We can do the engagement roll. I do have a bit of a hard out because some people want to use this room, but let's just do the engagement roll for the secondary mission and see how that goes. All right. So
I did spend intel to get you an extra die on this secondary mission too, so keep that in mind.
okay, Marshall.
Yeah, give me just a moment. All right, engagement. So, everyone on this mission is oath sworn to the Legion. Yeah. We did spend an intel, so that's 2 die. We don't have any, or we do have rookies, so that's we lose a die there, or we just don't gain a die. I don't see any reason for anyone to distrust the leadership on this mission. Required specialists are there. Great. And this is another supply mission. Did the quartermaster spend a unit of food to equip the secondary mission?
Sure. We're going pretty heavy on our food supplies, but we'll still have 3 left.
Okay.
We can always try to get some more at some point.
Okay. And the pressure is still no higher than 2. Is that correct? Great. So it's a 3 die. 3 die roll. All right. You ready for 3 ones? We're going to do it.
Please let not be 3 ones. I actually laughed myself. Okay, that's a 5. All right, that's good. Okay. All right. So on a 4 to 5 in a secondary mission, you can either fail the mission or you can succeed, but you're gonna lose 2 squad members and all specialists take level 2 harm. So it's still grim, but again, that's another project you can make me work on in the future. And people die, so people will still die, but you've got the banner now, so that means you don't lose morale. But you will lose.
Yeah.
I lean towards wanting to get those +2 supply because we really need that. And as bad as it sounds, the Emberwolves can take a loss or 2.
Yeah. I think that's the way I would go. Successful mission. 1 specialist with level 2 harm and 2 lost rookies.
Okay. Geez, these secondary missions are rough.
They are.
They're so rough. Yeah, so you don't lose morale because I think y'all come back with that banner. Gotta say, why are all the great rolls just on the mission? Like, come on. That's amazing. All right.
Hey, real quick, how do I know if Zaya is leveled up to not being a rookie anymore?
Where did you put? Where did you put your XP?
Oh, so I kind of put it all over the place because I assumed we had a lot. I was counting all that XP. There was like a lot of it. Now I've kind of I just dotted it all over the place.
Rookies. Actually, I'll explain this because I didn't explain this before. Rookies, they upgrade from rookies to soldiers at their first playbook advancement. So once you've leveled up your playbook XP, which is the one in the banner, you're not a rookie anymore. So
I can spin to level up instead of spending on Insider Prowess or Resolve.
yes, yeah, you could have done that. Yes.
Okay. I'll probably rejigger that. And is it 2 clocks in there, or is it just that 1 clock of?
No,
the
that's
red?
1 clock. That X is, if you click that, it gets rid of all the ticks.
Got it. Okay.
She also can't have 4 in skirmish.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can't have 4 action dots. You have a max of 3
All right.
when folks are starting out.
Okay.
So you probably want to read.
I'll take off some of these. We're gonna level her up. That was there.
Yeah. All right. So we've got our first soldier. Oh shit. Hold on. Let me cancel that. So if you click not a rookie anymore, it just says promote.
Yeah.
I think I got an idea for our next back at camp scene, because there's got to be a ceremony for promotion. Our first rookie. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of this room in a minute or so. I'll just say thanks very much, folks. Y'all again. Oh, Patrick, you enjoyed yourself. Battle Blades is kind of like the most atypical of Forge in the Dark stuff for sure. This is not usually how it goes. It's definitely less crunchy, but I hope you enjoy yourselves.
It's fun.
Hope everyone had a good time as always. We'll do stars and wishes in the email chain. Again, sorry, I really have to go. But yeah, y'all been fantastic. It's okay if I put this video up for folks to watch? Hell yeah. All right. Email y'all about what you want to see for next session. Definitely, I think we're going to see our first promotion. I'm so excited. Of course, it had to be Sai. Of course it is. Hell yeah. All right. I'm going to stop this live stream. Prepare for the